Johnny, a major announcement today for the UK Darts Association that you're going to be working with Darts Corner. Just tell us a bit about the deal and what it entails.
Yeah, well, basically, we've been speaking with Darts Corner pretty much from the outset, and along with a good few other major dart companies, we basically come to this deal after quite some tough negotiations. Obviously, it's a tough time for darts, so for a company to have the belief and trust in the UKDA on the future of darts, especially at our level. I mean, we have to understand that the UKDA encompass both what used to be the county dart system, now the National League system, and within that, their super leagues as well. We had to make sure that we got a deal that was good for all levels. And talking to the major dart manufacturers, especially the board manufacturers, it was a difficult decision, very, very difficult decision. But we managed to get there in the end with the help of Darts Corner. The sort of advice and ideas that they've got for the future of amateur darts certainly mirrored ours. And I think that made the negotiations a lot easier between the two companies. We've got a 4-year deal which secures the National League. Within that, and that for that 4-year over that 4-year deal, we've got a 6-figure sum. Where that's apportioned is pretty much yet to be decided. But one thing that Darts Corner have done is that they are going to make sure that we have our own lanes for any of our competitions. So we don't have to hire lanes, you know, they will be our own. Obviously shared at first, but it's been 6 months since the UKDA proposal to encourage county teams into the National League. The proposal itself we felt was fantastic, which is basically what enticed them over. But we've been working tirelessly since then to find a title sponsor for the association. And we're obviously totally delighted that that objective's been achieved. The level of support, help and advice we got from the outset by Darts Corner, their CEO Wayne Taylor and his team, has led us to what we believe is a monumental moment for National League darts. And if you consider that those discussions began when we didn't even really have any teams signed up, that really showed to me, you know, just how much they wanted to help the National League. That they know that we've got a massive membership, you know, that isn't replicated throughout the country. It isn't at all. It's mainly, you know, we've got 53 teams, which is more than what the BDO had, basically, you know, in England and Wales. And we've done all these negotiations probably through the toughest period the country has faced in decades. With that came a lot of advice from Darts Corner and the people involved there, and I think that's mainly down to the fact that that they have been county based. You know, that like a lot of the people that work there, they all play county darts, so they know what they're negotiating for. The ideas that they're putting forward, amalgamating with the ideas that we have as a company, are so intertwined that it's unreal. So in that respect, it's I would say it's a very exciting time for county dart. There will be new competitions added. There'll be competitions specifically targeted for the lower end within our system. You know, there's I always found when I played Super League, there was a good proportion of those players that are pretty much normally forgotten about. Well, we're going to make sure that they're not. You know, we've already offered out so many players benefits for their £10 that they'll be paying every season. But everything else that comes on top of that is now an extra benefit. We feel that price itself was modern. You know, it sort of brings us up to the modern times. Probably something that should have been done a good few years ago anyway. Entry fees. You know, I think the BDO used to take £1 from every player. Well, obviously we've upped that. We've upped that, you know, tenfold. So, you know, we have to deliver. We have to deliver on why we wanted that, why we needed that. This 4-year deal, which goes into 6 figures, also encompasses 50 dart lanes that are going to be made up specifically for the UKDA that we'll be using at our competitions. And yeah, I mean, like we couldn't be happier, Jamie. It's one of those things that we really do feel is an historic moment for grassroots darts. We've got 53 teams, probably up to about 10,000 members. So that makes us the biggest amateur darts association in the UK, and you know that can't be replicated by anybody else because the main body of players are encompassed within the UKDA, and we're so looking forward to the future.
And a 4-year deal, as you mentioned, which is quite unprecedented at this level. How much of a boost is that for the players and also for the UKDA that your vision is being shared by probably the world's biggest darts retailer?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I've been friends with people at Darts Corner for a very, very long time, and due to that, I wasn't involved in any of the negotiations at all. I just had a few sort of pre-chats at the beginning because I knew the people. They were the first people to actually call me the day after I was named as chairman of the UKDA. And obviously for me personally, that was a massive boost at that time. I handed the negotiations over to Colin Savage, the CEO, and commercial director Claire Stamper, and they're the ones that brought it over the line. And as I say, you know, if you talk to Colin and Claire, you'll understand that they're both very, very tough negotiators, and they bleed the UKDA. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, they may be forced Darts Corner into a corner to come up with this deal. That maybe even Darts Corner didn't think that they would reach the level that we required, but they certainly did. You know, talking to Wayne Taylor and his team, that's what's brought us here to this point. They're fantastic people. I personally, you know, I was just so happy that this was the deal that was brought across the line. Even just from a personal perspective, because I've got some very, very strong friends there. But they wasn't the only ones on the table. Virtually all of the major dart manufacturers were in discussions with us, and for Darts Corner to actually come out on top of those negotiations really, really showed that they wanted it, that they needed it as well as what we needed it, and that they've been so helpful in the UKDA finding a path. Like when we first took over, we knew what we had encompassed. We knew that isn't going to change. What we need to do is we need to make sure that we develop now from within. We're not competitors to the PDC. We're not competitors to the WDF. We just want to encompass the amateur game. We have associations with MAD, which we hope to develop over the next few months, and we see where we go with that. And with that tie-in, that really does take everything under the amateur umbrella, I feel, because we have to create more avenues for want of a better word, the lesser players. The ones that turn up every single week, and they probably play 3-4 times a week. They may play in different super leagues, but they're not the top end. The top end is a very, very small majority of our membership. We want to make sure that we're looking after those as opposed to that small majority. That small majority are well looked after. There are plenty of avenues out there. It's just whether we can create those avenues and that pathway through our own system for them to achieve their goals, their aims, and their dreams.
And you have an announcement video coming out at midday. Has there been a lot of anticipation on social media and your members about this announcement?
Yeah, over the last few days, we've set out a few videos, just highlighting the journey. And when the video goes out today at noon, we're assured, I think, of a fantastic response. Can I see any negatives coming back this afternoon? Not really, because this has never been done before. I think the last investment into county darts was from Riley Snooker, which I can't even remember. It was way over. I think it was over 10 years ago, and that was something for me as a BDO delegate back in the day. Like 5-6 years ago, I was saying, well, what about this side of the game? Why can't we invest in this side? And it was never happening. I can't say it was ignored. They were focused on other things. So, I would say I was quite a big voice in that area. And when nothing happened, and the subsequent demise of the BDO, something then needed to be done, I think, and thankfully I was available to be able to add my knowledge to the UKDA to ensure that we could offer them something more. It started off very, I would say it started off not small. It started off as a proposal that I knew would work, that would be self-sustainable. The work that or the plan that Morgan Barrell brought to us was fantastic, and with small tweaks here and there and a bit of development with it, we was reasonably confident that we would get the vast majority of counties to come over to the UKDA. Was we surprised that all of them come over? Yes, we was. And I think the only reason we was because we felt that there was probably 10, 12 teams there that were very, very BDO loyal. and they would literally stick to maybe running one division, which we didn't think would work long term, but we really thought that would happen. In the end, we ended up with 53 teams. We've structured that into a way where we'll now be able to have a magic weekend, which will be, the last two games of the season will basically be played in one venue on multi-boards. So they'll be playing all at the same time. And weirdly enough, that is something that has happened in the past to an extent, where they used to have the old champions meet up and they'd go to a venue, and the vast majority of county teams would be there playing the playoffs at the end of the season. I think we've taken it up a level. That will probably now happen in the Premiership and the Championship division. So as you can imagine, we're in negotiations with a massive venue to be able to hold that, and they will now be played on our own lanes. That sort of thing we can only thank Darts Corner for that, and for us it was pretty much a game changer when that maybe was the thing that sealed the deal for Darts Corner. It wasn't necessarily the financial side of it. It was a side where you can save finances, where it isn't going to cost you 10, 20 grand to generate however many lanes we need. So yeah, that was fantastic. Other competitions that are coming in, I think will be well received. I think overall, after the reveal today, I believe the comments coming back should be positive. There's no negativity in them whatsoever, I would say, because it's all about the future. It's all about being secure. I think, and we're definitely secure for the next 4 years. We still have some other areas of investment, and now is the time that we'll be going out to try and get those gaps filled. So overall, the National League system is in a better place than it's ever been, and we will develop that even further. There'll be more and more investment coming in as we're going forward, and as we get further down the line, all of those investments will be renegotiated, and I'm 100% confident that those and any future negotiations will go well because of the product that we're putting across.
And following on from this news and obviously the MAD launch last week, do you feel like there's real momentum building up in the amateur game now, and it's really the start of a new era?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, looking at their launch last week, I know there's been a lot of negativity over that as well for certain areas, but slowly over this last week, with the things that they've been revealing and releasing on a daily basis, talking about league affiliations, open competitions, and stuff like that. I think it's a fantastic idea. There may be some people out there that think, well, how do the two join up? Well, obviously, the UKDA have two systems within it. We've got the National League systems, which is county darts, and we've got the Super League system. Now, through that Super League system, can MAD and the UKDA join forces? Yeah, I don't see why not. And if something like that doesn't happen, will it damage the game? No, I don't think it will. Because I think that there is enough avenues there. What we have to understand is the UKDA is team-based game. although MAD have a league affiliation, that league affiliation is mainly local league, and then you've got local competitions. When it comes to the biggest leagues in the country, you can only talk about the Super League. You know, like they're very, very well attended, like in the vast majority of areas. So that is the area that MAD should be tapping into, and that's an area where the UKDA should be working with MAD for them to tap into. As long as our members are feeling the benefit of that, then you know, like there will certainly be no resistance from us, because like at this moment in time, with the demise of the old amateur system, there are so many avenues now to explore. We're all starting with a blank sheet now, really, and it's a matter of sort of building and adding to that now. We know what we've got. We know what we can add from our side, and we hope for associations with any other amateur body, and professional body for that matter. You know, like we're open to talk with anybody.
And just finally, obviously, we live in quite uncertain times at the moment. What are the plans for 2021 in terms of getting up and running with the singles and the national leagues?
Yeah, like obviously, we put out our fixture list, and you know, we'll keep our fingers crossed and make sure and hope that when it comes to September 2021, I think the date is the 18th for the first scheduled National League game. We hope that can happen. With the current pandemic and the way the vaccines are being apportioned, there is a fear that there may still be local lockdowns and restrictions. What we have to do now is, whenever the opportunity comes up for the UKDA to produce any type of darts, and this will happen in the new year, whether that means online games, you know, providing an online platform, etc., for our members, and then we have to do that. We have to start getting them playing again. The online system seems to have blown up, and you know, there's a lot of online darts going on. We need to get in there. We need to put our own thing in place, I think, just to keep people playing. We've got some people in our team that are working on that at the moment, and hopefully in the new year we'll have some news on that. County games, you know, that's a difficult one because of the amount of people that we can have in a venue. Are there ways around that? Yeah, I'm sure there are. I think the PDC have proved that, you know, there is a way of playing darts. Their stuff's televised mainly on the whole. So, and I think they've done a fantastic job. It's very, very difficult to take what they do and implement that into what we're doing. But it's something that we need to explore. Put our stamp on a bit of online stuff, maybe. So I think that should be our plan in the new year, to see if we can get something like that started up, and we're hopeful we can. Yeah.